Don't tell me I've actually managed to work it all out and get it working properly. So I'll just wait till I can hear myself. I'm moving on the meters everywhere, so we'll just see what happens. And yes. Okay, so amazing. We think amazing, as the very racist Sun White Rice ad used to say. Okay, so this week I'm going to continue on this 148, the Philips. This one. And I managed to pull out a couple of other variations on it. So I've got one here. And this one's really heavy. I don't know how they called these portables, but this is this one, and it's a bit later, and it has a magic eye in it, and the tuning works on this one, and the volume works on it too. Inside, this is really quite heavy, this radio. Okay, and it doesn't even have any batteries in it. So this one is really quite different inside. It's, yeah, it's got the 2 batteries. Someone has done something to this. I don't know whether that is the speaker or the power, but the mains transformer is down underneath there. I don't know what this disc is, but it's only got a Roller 5F speaker in it, so that is quite different. This model is a 168, so this was the late 1950s. I'll go and get the other one, which I've managed to dig up. Oh, this really is heavy. So I don't, yeah, okay. I'll be back in one moment. This one is a Mullard version, and it's got a different aluminium grill and all that sort of thing on it. Yeah, so it's quite, again, we don't, no, we don't have the magic eye on this one. Yeah, it's got the 2 panels there. These are really heavy, these radios, for what they are. So this one, I don't know, this is how I received this one. So this panel had already been taken off. It's wired a little bit differently. So use of external aerial. And this is the model number, so it's a 1051. And what's this? It's got a couple of the screws in it. Yeah, so this one is battery only by the looks of it. So this would be the 7.5 volt battery, and this would be the 90 volt battery. So, and oh no, hang on, we've got, no, this is the power here. So this comes out and you store the wire in here. So not quite sure how this actually works. So we've got the two wires. I'm not sure why you'd need quite such long wires for AC use, but oh, hang on, got 3. Okay, so maybe 2 45-volt batteries. And it's got a different speaker in it again. Yeah. So I'll put this back down here. It's a very odd sort of design, this. It's good. Again, it's got the loop antenna up through there and over the other side as well. It's much simpler layout than the ones we're working on. So I would think this is only battery. Do this on my lap. Yeah. So it doesn't have the AC connections on the back. That's an aerial connection. And actually, I don't know whether you can see the size or not, but this one, the later one, Philips, is actually a bit smaller. So they're lined up, and yeah, it's a little bit thinner too, profile, and it's not quite so high. Probably can't get this all in, but yeah, that's it. So these were sort of really developed over the years. Yep. Thanks, Jack. Right. Still haven't cleaned up that Sony set we did a few weeks ago yet. Okay. So what I have done on this one, and I'll bring you down if I possibly can. Yep. So move this back a little bit. Now I've taken the switch apart completely. I've tried to lubricate the volume control, but it's still very, very stiff. It's had lots of WD-40 and oil thrown at it, and yeah, it's still really stiff. So I might have to take this out and have a closer look at it. I've also taken this switch apart and cleaned all the contacts, and I don't know whether I'll put it back together again, hence getting out the other two radios to have a look, but yeah, so that seems to let the AC through, and that seems to be battery, and both sides of the switch are working. So I've got a switch on this side with a spring thing and another one on the other side. Don't know whether you can see this working. Oh, yeah. And this side. Yeah. So I think that was the position for the AC. And on this switch over here, I've also cleaned all this, the contacts up on this, and they were super filthy. So now we get continuity through this switch, and then through this switch, and then back into the transformer, and then out to the radio itself. And thanks to Manuel on his channel Electronics Old and New, he did one of these identical ones, and he had a broken wafer. The rear wafer on this was broken and he couldn't fix it, so we had to juggle the wiring a bit. Okay, and that's how I sort of worked out it was this switch. So I'll just turn on the isolation transformer. We'll turn the dim bulb on, and we'll turn the, I'll get the meters in shot. Is that going to, yep, yeah, that's showing up. Now this meter is connected across one of the filter caps, and it's only a 10-volt filter cap. That sort of took me a few seconds to work out, because I'm used to working on the much higher voltage sets. So I'm going to clear everything so we don't get any shorts. Right, that all looks okay. Probe is stuck in the 240 volt line. Again, I can't emphasize enough that you should never be doing this sort of thing. But yeah, but I've mucked around with radio sets all my life, so, and I haven't electrocuted myself yet. But there's always a first time. So be super careful. I'm going to move that speaker wire out the way. Yep. Okay, so we'll bring it up slowly. Or not that slowly, but yeah, it's 80, and we don't get anything. 120, 140, 150, and 220. Why is this not working? Have I put the switches back in the wrong position? Okay. Try that again. Hoping this doesn't have the spring on it, so it doesn't always sit in the right position. It was working on Friday. No voltage. Oh, here we go. No. So we'll try putting this around to there. So I think I moved that, didn't I? There we go. So we're on to 20. Remember, that'll come up to 10 volts. Don't know whether that will do anything, but and we're on the dim bulb, remember, so that will eventually get up to 10 volts at that voltage, but I'll bring it up a little bit further, and yeah. So the plan for today is to replace a couple of these capacitors. Now, I'm not going to do all of them on camera. I've replaced one. Where's my pointer? I've replaced this one down here. You can't see it because that's in the way, but there's a capacitor down there. Yeah, this is getting up to 10 volts. There we go. And it'll go probably a little bit higher. Yeah, so I've replaced that one, and there's a massive grade 0.1 down here. And yeah, so I'm going to replace that. And then we'll stick some different valves in it, and we'll test the 6-volt string. Now, yeah, that's getting quite warm and toasty. Just wait for this to discharge. That should be enough. So, I'll bring you onto the other camera. I still haven't got my Stream Deck working. It's playing silly buggers. So I'll bring you in. Yeah, so I've changed this one here. This black one here. And I'm about to change this one here because this looks really dodgy. Not that there's any high voltage down here. All the high voltage is over here. But we'll do that. We'll just make sure nothing touches. So we'll turn, that's off. That's off. We can unplug our leads. Move them out the way. And what I might do is just tilt this up so you can see what I'm doing. Try not to put anything through the speaker itself. Is that? No, not high enough. What can I use? This camera frame. Is that visible? Just. Okay. Now it's this capacitor here, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of difference. So just double check that this is a 0.1. Yeah. Yeah. And that's unusual. That's got hot down there. Yeah. It is very unusual. I think this has been mucked around with, but not very recently. Just waiting on the soldering iron, which I've just tangled up in the transformer. Okay, good. There's the actual thing there. This is the middle one. In fact, I'm going to snip that off. It's not going to be easy to get out. And what I'm worried about on this is, yeah, you can see the difference in. Okay, great. Why has that suddenly gone yellow? Didn't actually touch anything. Okay, yeah. So I don't know whether you can see down there. I'll bring the other camera across. Yeah, this down here, that's very, very shiny, as if it's been soldered at some stage. Yeah. I'm hoping that this isn't going to play up. I'm just going to do a hook and loop on both of those. As I was saying, this is no, it's not. It's actually a steel chassis. The other AWA's aluminium. So I can solder onto that. And actually it's quite unusual for Philips to use Technico capacitors, although everyone used everybody else's stuff back in the day. It was just a matter of what you could get. I'm doing a loop on this one. And I'll just do a loop on this one. I'm going to restuff these 3 electrolytics here, if I can get it to work. And I might go back over this and do the soldering properly. That's interesting. I thought that would be too long. And I want this to stand off from the electrolytic so it doesn't short. Okay, should stay up there. Don't normally do hook and loop or whatever because because it just looks nasty. But with this radio, who cares? Okay. Yep. Just don't want that end where my finger is to earth against anything. Okay, good. Right. Now what I want to do is to test these two electrolytics. So I'll connect up this. Which is the positive. This one is positive. No, actually. Make that negative. And this positive. And I'll bring you back a little bit so you can see the meter. Oop. The zoom buttons on these aren't particularly good. Right. And we'll have to put our power onto it. Doesn't really matter. As long as it's not shorted at this end. Not touching anything. Make sure that switch doesn't touch anything. Okay. So we're on 220. Here we go. And while that's coming up, I'll have a look at the stream to make sure it's still running. Good. Right. Now that is, I think that's a 10 volt capacitor there. And it's not coming up. bring it up to 230. Now this is tapped at the 230 or 240, I think. This is the aerial. Can't hear anything at all. Bring this over to the other capacitor. And this has got paint on it, so 2.9. That's very interesting. Well, 3 volts, I should say. Now that is yep, 2.9. I'll try the other one and see if that's still 10 volts. Yeah, 6 volts. Now I'm just wondering if this is actually a 0.1. Yep, definitely a 0.1. Huh. Maybe this is just so leaky. I'll have to get my Philips bridge working so we can test things like this. Yeah, that's made a real difference. It's just stable at 6 volts. Whereas before it was 10 volts. Right. Okay, so I'm going to turn off and we'll see if we can get any sound out of it. Well, actually, no, we're going to test the 6 volt line, weren't we? So I'll bring this one in. This will be AC. We can see that just down, yeah, probably come in a bit closer to it. Where can I put this where it won't be in the way and you can see it? Not quite. Is that better? Yeah, you can see that just about. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, why is that? What have I done? Just moved it back a couple of inches and it's died. Haven't touched any of that. Let's put this other meter back on it. Yeah. How strange. What have I done? So the power is on. It's switched on at the dim bulb. It's going through here. I'll just check the voltage on that. How bizarre. Oh yeah, 212 is going into it. Now we'll try and, so we'll go down here. Yep, 216. Yeah, I've got to be careful here. $59, yep. Yeah, 137, which is correct. And 6 point, and 2.8. Well, that's DC anyway, isn't it? And why is that falling? Yeah, that's falling away, isn't it? What have I done? It's not going to work on 2.7. That should be about 7.5. And yeah, why is it falling away? So we'll wait for the capacitors to discharge slightly. Make sure this is connected properly, which it should be. On. I'll bring this up again so you can see. Just have to wait for the 6V4. Why is there nothing coming through? Point one, well, 1.7 volts, or 0.17, yeah, whatever it is. Didn't move this, did I? I'll do that. That hasn't moved. Don't think. Right. Try this again. This is really odd. I hate things like this where it's working 1 second and not the next. Let's see if that's getting warm. Yeah, not hot, but it's getting warm, the 6V4. But it's not getting through to the radio itself. Now, where did I put the schematic for this? Down here. Okay. Good. Now, this is our switching down here and over here. So I think I'm connected to either 29 or 30. Oh no, 29, and so that should go through the rectifier here and out. Battery plug, and then because we've got a double switch here, which is the one down here. So I'll bring it back out. Sorry about my hand. Yeah, so this switch here, so this part here and this part here is this down here, and then we've got the battery AC switch here, and it goes through that switch, and if this one is in AC mode, it turns the transformer on, and then it goes through the rectifier and then out and back into that switch. Yeah, and then this part down here goes to the heater string. It's a very complicated setup, this, typical of Philips. And then, of course, that goes to earth. So we've got a tap which comes off here, and a tap which comes off to through this capacitor here, and then up through there. I think that's how it works. So, and that is definitely a 0.1. Any suggestions? Try that again. Pretty sure I didn't knock that. It's just not getting any power through it, is it? Try that. Don't think that's going to. So again, we're waiting for the rectifier, but no. I mean, it is showing. Here we go. No, this is very sensitive to human contact, this meter, which is unusual for a fluke. No. That's pretty cold, that one. So we'll put this switch back into the other position. This has got me stumped. Well, what I'm going to do is put the other original 6V4 in and see if that makes any difference. I mean, it might, but I really doubt it. This is actually sort of warm. Excuse me. Line up the pins. See? That socket is really, really clean too. Right. How very strange. No. No. I really can't work out why we're not getting anything. Where is a something to insulate it? I'm fairly sure I didn't move any of the switches when I moved the radio. Hmm. Hmm. Well, our 6 volt is rising. I'll show you that. Is that in shot? No. You see that? No. Yeah, we're getting almost 6 volts there. That's on the 6 volt string. And we're getting 6.1 there. 6.2, so it is going up. And there was 130, 140 on these. So that should be higher than 6.6. 6.7 and this tap had it. No, 6.8. Right, that's very... So it is getting the 6 volts, but it's not getting the higher voltage. So we'll try, let's have a look on the radio itself. Now, it'll be AC. Nothing. Now, which is the heater string? There's a white wire. This is just too complicated for its own good. That might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got a bit of voltage on that. No. try that. There's no voltage on this at all. That comes up, which is the heater. And yeah, we've got another electrolytic in here. So we'll just see if there's any voltage on that. DC. No. Nothing. .4, which sounds like a heater string on one of the valves. 1.5 with the power off. 1.2, yeah, that's got nothing to do with anything. This has got me stumped. So, and I just can't work out which is the heater string. Doesn't go. That one goes off. But it doesn't actually connect up to anything. Where's the heaters getting their power from? Time for a bit of a drink. Any suggestions? Anybody? I can't work out why it was working before, and I moved it about 2 inches, and it stopped working. Now that capacitor is not shorted out at all, or is it? No. Hmm. And what do we actually have on this capacitor as a value? Come on. Yep. 1, and this one was 150, but yeah, basically the same value. This one's ridiculously high though. What have I done? My head going to get in the way again. I'm going to stick the volume control back. So that is properly earthed. Hmm. Okay, let's try again. Nothing. Nothing again. Absolutely nothing. would help to turn that on. Maybe that's what I did. 228, okay. Not getting anything through there. Not getting anything. Through that. Well, that made a bit of a difference when I switched it. Now it's working again. So one of these switches is a bit dodgy. Okay, right, let's try and work out. Now that is not the best. The dial string is pulling up the AC business. Okay, let's see if we can find our 6 volts. Now, why is there 6 volts when I'm not actually connected to anything? Just the negative to the chassis. This is really hair pulling out territory, this radio. Yeah. So as soon as I touch the chassis, .4 volts. I don't get that. Right. So I'll get my valve book, which cost the princely sum of 10 and 6, and we'll have a look at the 1 valves. 1 5, 1F, one T4, that'll do. So, being very careful not to touch the 240 volts. So our heater doesn't have a heater according to this. F plus, F minus. or filament. Yeah, so F is the filament, so that should be on 1 and 7 on the 1T and the 1S, etc. So we'll count around. Where's our gap? It looks like the gap. So 1, 2. So that is going to be the negative. And all that. Yeah, 6.8 volts on the... No, that's odd. Why am I getting that voltage on? There's nothing. .2. Okay. So what I'm going to do is turn off and we'll slowly work through the valves. That isn't even warm. So what is that? That's a 1T4. So that's definitely getting our so we've got a heater on that one. And this is going to be impossible. So we'll take this off. So we know the voltage is there. Take this camera frame away. I'll have to peer over the top. In, there we go. Right, so this is on a mount So I'm going to have to pull this up like this. And this is a 1R5. One R. So that has got the filaments on 1 and 7. I think they're all 1 and 7 actually. I might be wrong. And where's the end of this? So that's got a filament in it. This is a 1T4 again. So 1 and 7. And that is 24 at 350, that large upright capacitor. Now this one is a secret because it's been worn off. We can see that. Yeah, it's up there somewhere. That's gone. So we'll just assume it's 1 and 7. It's got a filament. And I'll pull this one out. And again, this is the 3V4. And I think this one is 1 and 7 again. Yep, so they've all got working filaments. Right. Just doesn't seem to be getting enough voltage. Try it again. Aerial wires. I can actually see the 6V4 lighting up. I wonder if the output transformer has gone in this or something on the secondary. Right. So the next thing will be to take the speaker off and get to the output transformer. So we turn it over. This is really stiff. So it's up almost full volume. Yeah, the tuning capacitor needs a thorough clean too. It's full of muck. So we'll turn this over. I've got another big electrolytic there. Yeah, okay. This will do. No, too thick. Where have I buried my black screwdriver? That's quite a thin one. I don't know whether they're tight enough. Yep. Yep. Oh, that's tight. This screwdriver. I'm going to put it through the cone, aren't I? One's quite loose. Yeah, I'll have to find the black one. This is really tight. Just wondering if there's a nut on the end of it. Careful. So turn it that way. Yeah, how did that actually come out? You have to take these right out. Yeah, they do have nuts on the back of them. Must be the most difficult speaker I've ever had to take out. Hooray! Now, geez, this is filthy, this radio. Okay. Now, we've got our primary coming in. I think I tested that last week. So there's our secondary. Yep, seems to be okay. This has got so many electrolytics in it. So we'll take this speaker out before we damage it. Wow, that's very well balanced there. Just waiting for the soldering iron again. Yes, went down the shop again this morning and of course the bus didn't turn up. So I walked down to the shops, which is about about 2 kilometres away for the main shopping centre, and then coming back I had to move that out of the way. Where can I put that? Yes, the bus didn't turn up again. And as I was walking down, there was people waiting at other bus stops, and I said it hadn't turned up, and they said, "Oh, typical for a Sunday." So yeah, this 40-minute frequency on a Sunday, I don't know why it's not working, but yeah. Right, so I'll hook up the shop speaker to it. And move this a bit so nothing's shorting. Looks good. And don't think it's the speaker. A slight click then, but might have been something moving. No. This is such a puzzle. Right, so I'll turn it off again. And we'll stand up. The rectifier is cold again, so it wasn't getting any voltage. I didn't really move that, did I? Oh, of course it wasn't connected, was it? Duh. Duh, Mr. Renault. As my loving students used to say occasionally when I made a mistake. And we are going through the dim bulb too. Yeah, the heater on the 6V4 is working. Okay. What I might do is just go direct. Let's see if it gets any voltage, high voltage directly. So I'll bring the bring the variac down. Now it's on about 200. No sign of the rectifier lighting up. No, okay. So we'll go up a little bit higher. 220. Now we've got the rectifier glowing. $230, which is what the line voltage is. It's on the 230 tap. No sign of life. Where's the aerial? And I'll put the aerial onto it, if I can get it untangled. No. No. Just find these 1.4 volt sets very, and those valves are stone cold. So power is still not getting through. That is that. Yep. So put that back to there. I think that is on. I mean, the 6V4 is definitely getting hot. I can't see the filament. Is that glowing? No. So that must be off. That should be on when it's down that way, because it should be the flap open. It's quite warm. Getting warm, no. That's not hot, so yep, that is definitely on. And heating up. Right, so the next thing to do, what time is it? I've got a little bit of time. So what I'll do is I'll just find another radio which works, and I'll swap out the valves one by one. Which is the valve one. Now, actually that's not a good idea to use this one, because this one I haven't got working. And crush all my cable ties. Right, reach across here. Is that without cutting myself? My trusty box of valves. And what do we need? So our 6V4 is definitely working. Notorious 6M5. Maybe I get the 1 volt or 1.4 volt valves out. Okay. Didn't need to do that at all. They're on the desk. 6V4. 3V4. We'll start with our output valve. Come out. So that's a 3V4, and I'll line these up over here so I don't get mixed up with anything else. This one looks pretty brand new. I don't understand why they're not getting warm, because there was faulty continuity in all the filaments. No. This is a real puzzle. I know Manuel, when he was doing his, he was really stumped, but the, where is it? Here we go. Yeah, but his was a power switch, and he ordered all brand new valves. So the next one back is one S5. Do I have another? I don't think I've got any 1S5s. One R5. No. Okay. So I'm going to leave that one in and hope that it's not the dud one. Try not to burn myself. 1T4. But I'm not getting anything on the volume control. No. Oh. We've got speaker hum. Okay. Why would a 1T4? Oh, because this the string, don't we? We've got a string. So maybe that. Yep. that's the aerial. Don't know whether you can hear that or not. When it's up full volume, there's nothing coming through. From the tuning gang itself, or the, I mean, I can. Okay, let's see if our oscillator's working. It should be. No. Oh, there it is. Right. So we definitely have an oscillator. We have liftoff by the sounds of it. Okay. Right. Okay, so I'm going to end the stream on a happy note. And thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. And whatever else I can say thanks for. So, now I'll just put the electrical warning up. No, I won't put the electrical warning up. Okay, so it goes without saying that you just don't muck around with radios and 240 volts without knowing what you're doing. I'm on an isolation transformer going through the variac, so the likelihood of me actually dying from electrocution is fairly low, but yeah, so you've got to be really super careful with these radios. They do have lethal voltages on them, so yeah. Okay, all right, thanks very much. I won't be back next week because of the HRSA auction on Sunday. I'll go to that if I possibly can. I may do a live stream on Saturday afternoon, but probably, possibly, maybe. I'll continue to work on this a little bit and see if I can get any signal through it, connected up to the internal loop antenna on the radio itself. Yeah, so again, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I don't know whether you can like live videos, but if you can, please like. Thank you.